Hi and welcome to The Winning Factor. I'm Alan Aitken, and on this show each week we take a look at some upcoming races in Hong Kong and try to look for an angle to the race that might be the path to finding the winner. Well, Saturday racing this week in Hong Kong, and the first race we're going to look at is race 7, where our winning factor is the Sectionals. So this is a pretty good Class 2 feature race here with some proven talents, but I think it might be dominated this time by some lightly raced younger horses on the way up. And while I think there will and should be fans of green and white, those dominating the discussions are going to be Bottom Up Together, Packing Hermod and Ruby Lot. And the key lead-up race for this features both Bottom Up Together and Ruby Lot. When Bottom Up Together, first time out this season, was sent out a very hot favourite by punters and was defeated. But there was certainly no fluke to the way that Ruby Lot beat him. This is race 61 and we're looking at gate 2, blue and white, that's Ruby Lot, while Bottom Up Together is in green and yellow colours, white cap, barrier 8. And both begin well. Zac Purton is sending Bottom Up Together towards the front to sit behind the leader, who crosses him without running much time to get there. Brenton Avdulla, meanwhile, lets Ruby Lot settle past midfield, where he travels nicely, albeit several lengths behind the favourite. Now you see on the heat map, in the end it comes down to a strong sprint down the straight. So Bottom Up Together should have all the advantages, and he goes clear, looking the winner. But Ruby Lot unwinds a stunning last 200 metres and arrives on the line to beat the hot favourite. Certainly no fluke about that. Now, they are the headline acts coming into this race, but we also have the unbeaten Packing Hermod, who made it 3 out of 3 at his latest appearance. This is race 118. He's in gate 12, blue and white with yellow sleeves, and Packing Hermod is out quickly, and he follows the leader across and eventually sits second outside him. Now, he has done a little work to get across there, but you see on the heat map that has been offset by a relatively slow pace. It's an easy time through the middle of the race as well, and then Zac Purton asks the favourite to sprint, and sprint he does, accelerating well to shoot away and win with authority. Now, Packing Hermod goes up in grade for the second run in a row here. That's not easy, but you never knock unbeaten horses, and certainly he looks a very promising horse. Now, when we go to the map, the presence of Drombeg Banner usually assures us of a decent pace. So those awkward draws for both Packing Hermod and Bottom Up Together mean that their riders have to make some decisions early about where they will land and how much use they want to make of their horses to get there. For Ruby Lot, well, I think the decisions are easier. I think we'll see him somewhere similar to his position last time, but this time with a more consistent pace up front, and he should be ready to launch that big finish again. But for me, the tip in race 7 is Ruby Lot, his winning factor, the Sectionals. Now, these are all nice horses in a strong race, and they're all going somewhere, but I think that change-up acceleration that we saw over the final stages from Ruby Lot in that video was high class, and that's going to stand him in good stead as all 3 of these horses go up to the 1400 metres. The other race I want to look at is the final race, race 10, and our winning factor is the race shape. This is a Class 3, 1600 metres, and the likely favourite is Voyage Samurai. But Fallon will have fans after his last run. Star Mac and Prince of Porty are racing well, and Mark Newnham's ex-Singapore horse Silo also looks near a Hong Kong win. But it's Voyage Samurai and Silo where I'm concentrating. And Voyage Samurai, well, he's got a nice form line, 6 starts, 3 wins, 3 seconds, and he came away with plenty of credit despite being beaten as a favourite at his return run this season. This is race 63. He's in gate 11 with light green and white colours and white cheek pieces. And Voyage Samurai, well, he's one of the first away. But the early and middle stages are critical here, as first Pray for Mir in the green colours, and then afterwards Frantank in white and blue colours work Voyage Samurai in the lead. Now, the heat map shows the mid-race pace is not as quick as it probably looks. It just means there is no breather at all for Voyage Samurai after the early effort. Pray for Me, meanwhile, has dropped back out of the lead fight, and he does get a rest, and that makes all the difference over the final stages as he gathers Voyage Samurai back in and lands the win. So brave in defeat there, Voyage Samurai, after not getting much peace during the race, and beaten by one of Saturday's rivals again, Pray for Me. He's been given a bit of a freshen up since that run too, so he should be well over it. The other horse that I'm looking at here, Silo, he joined Mark Newnham's yard from Singapore, where he had a decent, not outstanding record, but his runs in Hong Kong have all been good, particularly his latest offering over 1,400 metres. This is race 101. He's in gate 12, green, black and yellow colours, and Silo jumps well, but there is just too much speed underneath him, and his rider has to steady, looking to get in closer, but it isn't happening, and he continues to go back. Now, in terms of race shape, that comes right against him, as while he's easing back, the leaders drop anchor and go through a slow second section. That means that Silo has given away a lot of ground cheaply to horses who are not spending energy to get away from him. The pace picks up again from the 800 metres before a sharp sprint to the finish, which is also against Silo now that he's giving away a big start, but he applies himself well to keep pulling back ground. So that was a far better run to me than it might look at first glance. He was giving up ground when the leaders weren't going fast. Then he was trying to make ground when the leaders were going fast. So that's a totally against him race shape. And when we look at Sunday's map, I'm thinking that this race shape might suit him a little better. This time I think the pace might not quite get to average, but that depends on whether Pray for Me or Fun Together wants to put pressure on Voyage Samurai. I think average tempo at best is what we're looking at, and that helps Voyage Samurai as opposed to last time when he never got a rest. But for Silo, the race also has a very different look to last time. From gate 6, he can use the early gate speed that he did show last time but wasn't in a position to use, and get camped in behind the leaders with a smoother run. That puts him in a position to relax at the right time, sprint at the right time, things that he didn't get last time. So the tip from me in race 10 is Silo. His winning factor, the race shape. Now, I don't think there's a great deal between Voyage Samurai and Silo, and I'm pretty sure that Voyage Samurai, who's less exposed, is going to go on to be the better horse out of the two, and I think the market will reflect that. However, that run by Silo was showing that he's going particularly well just at the moment. He gets a lovely map this time, and I think he'll be better value than the likely favourite. Well, that's it from the winning factor this week. Good luck on Saturday. We'll see you next time.